What is up everybody, Goblin here, and today we are achieving a 100% platinum on the 2021 game 12 Minutes. 12 Minutes is an adventure game developed by Luis Antonio and published by Annapurna Interactive. The whole game is about the protagonist, which is you, and he seems to be stuck within this 12-minute real-time loop. As these loops go on, we learn more and more information about the events that are happening surrounding our characters. The only characters you see in the game are yourself, your wife, the cop, and the wife's father, who seemingly has been murdered, and the cop, played by Willem Dafoe actually, has come to the conclusion that your wife has committed the murder of her own father, and it is up to you to try and solve the pieces of the story through various loops to get to the bottom of what actually occurred. Now, enough of the synopsis, let's get on with our platinum journey. To start this off, this game can get pretty confusing and repetitive if you are striving for the 100% platinum. But luckily enough, it doesn't take long to achieve. And saying that, I actually completed my 100% trophy in just under 2.5 hours. Which sort of makes sense, as PSN Profiles ranked this game a 2 out of 10 on the difficulty chart. I know, I get it, I am a professional. There is no need to awe in my presence. But however, if you were to play this game casually, just for the shits and giggles, then I would feel this game would be a very interesting experience for you and pretty enjoyable, as you can go and advance through things the way that you want to and progress through the game via trial and error and having some fun. But me? Did I have fun? I don't know if I would consider it fun. I'm not sure. There are 13 trophies altogether, which isn't too bad, and getting them requires some specific walkthrough methods. For example, to platinum the majority of other games, usually you just finish the main story first, then go back and get some of the cleanup trophies, and finally get some of the miscellaneous trophies alongside those. Here, however, with this game, it ain't like that. The first trophy I achieved was the Listen trophy, where once you get into the apartment, you put the control down and wait for the loop to end. Yup, that is it. Let the wife do the talking and you just chill on the couch like a good little boy. Next up, I had to make sure I check out this painting over here of the trees, as we will have to do this a few more times throughout the various loops as the seasons within this painting change. We also have to check out this painting over here to the right of the window, as this painting changes as well as you progress, similar to the previous painting. Come into the bedroom, water the plant by putting water into the mug that we picked up earlier, and we will get another trophy called Fluidity. Whilst here, I checked out yet another painting of the two people you see before you, and yes, you guessed it, once again the same thing applies, where this painting here will change, similar to the two previous paintings. So we continued with the loops, and as you progress you will see these paintings differ from the previous loops. If they differ for you, then awesome. That is what's supposed to happen. We achieved to look at all 4 of the season paintings and all 3 of the fawn paintings. If you are confused so far, then great. This is what the game wants you to feel. If you want to achieve a 100% on this game, I would recommend looking at a guide, because I ain't going to provide that for you. I'm just sharing my platinum journey. Okay, I don't have the brains to make a full-on guide video. You know. Next up, we got the Groundhog trophy, which basically means we spent the perfect day with our wife, eating dessert and making out without Willem Dafoe coming in and shooting someone in the face. Now we are on to a brutal trophy, where we basically acted as a little bitch for Willem Dafoe and let him kill the wife, as we agreed we would stay out of the situation and sit down on the couch just listening to the ruckus happening next door. I should have put on the radio, actually. Darn it. Missed opportunity. For doing that, we achieved the Coward trophy, which lines up perfectly to what just happened. In another loop, we confessed to the wife that we actually killed her father. OMG, I know. Plot twist. But it isn't as bad as the previous plot twist, in which we came to find out earlier. Go find out for yourselves. I ain't spoiling. Okay, fine. let's quickly go over the story. So, our protagonist comes home, greeted by his wife, and she tells him a rhetorical question that sounds suspicious.
Okay. So what if, hypothetically, I had an affair?
Excuse me?
They have dessert, the wife tells him she is pregnant, and he mentions this.
Baby clothes with my mother's name.
Willem Dafoe shows up, arrests them both, blah blah. Keep in mind, our protagonist is aware of these loops and remembers everything that happens in each loop, but everybody else relives the same actions unless a story path unlocked changes their pattern a small bit. So our protagonist proves he is in a loop and tries to find evidence that his wife did not kill her father. In comes the photo on the fridge. He now knows that this proves she didn't kill her father, as how can she be in the same place at once the same night her father was killed? As the story progresses, we learn more information given to us by Willem Dafoe and our wife, such as her father had an affair with the nanny and had a monster child together, and that monster child, who is basically her half-brother, technically, definitely killed her father. Willem Dafoe believes this as he remembers the last words of her father being monster, as he was a close personal friend of her father's. Willem Dafoe does not remember the name of the nanny, and neither does the wife, but Willem Dafoe knows that it starts with a D and it sounds like some kind of flower. Moving on, we come to find out that the name on the baby grow is the same name of the protagonist's mother, and Willem Dafoe confirms that it was the name, indicating that our protagonist is the son of the nanny, which means our protagonist and his wife are half siblings. This also means that he is the monster child and that he killed his wife's father, aka his own father. Deep. Deep. Very, very deep. But that's it, in a nutshell, really. So, moving on, we confess to the cop, tell him it was you, and boom, we get the confessed trophy. Before we head on to the last 3 alternative ending trophies, we need to water our plant a few times, but before you do that, make sure you break the flower with the knife you found in the kitchen so that the flower can sprout from scratch over the progression of a few loops. And of course, by hydrating it with some fresh ice cold water. Yummy yummy, gimme that water. Yummy yummy. So water the plant, stab the light. Water the plant, stab the light. Water the plant, stab the light. Water the plant, stab the light.
3 hours later.
And we are done. We got the gardener trophy, and I feel this scene within the game definitely inspired some people to become full-on professional manic gardeners. Now let's get on to the 3 alternative ending trophies, the egg painting trophy, and of course, the holy grail of the platinum 100% trophy. Here we just have to transport to a library room where we are talking to the wife's father, which strangely enough is voiced by Willem Dafoe as well, and to achieve the alone ending, sorry, going back for a second, it's also your father, okay? I kind of got mixed up writing this, that's how messed up this story is. It messes with your brain. Okay, so it is your father as well as your wife's father. And to achieve the alone ending, we just got to agree to this dialogue option here and wait a bit and we get it. Next up we have the mindfulness trophy, where we choose this dialogue option here and this one, and then we arrive back into the apartment loop, go over to the painting of the egg, and we get the Ouroboros trophy. Then we have to teleport back into the library room, wait until we can choose the book as a dialogue option, and once that appears, the protagonist will read out the quote from the book in which our protagonist has been saying in the previous loops, once you've been asking the wife about the book she has been reading throughout the early stage of the game. So, just to sum that up, make sure in the early parts of the game to ask the wife about the book once in the loop and do it around 3 to 4 times. This then sets up the point in order to achieve the mindfulness trophy. I know, I told you it was confusing. Hope you're having a good time watching this though. So much so, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button and comment down below to give me some suggestions on another game I can platinum. Now, back to the platinum hunt. Ah, jeez. It's a never-ending cycle. all that is left for us to do now is go back once again to the library room, press the book dialogue as soon as you get the ability to do so, and literally put the controller down once again to finish off the cutscene and to finally achieve that 100% platinum, baby. If you were looking for a game to platinum and to waste 2.5 hours on, being somewhat confused, and playing repetitive gameplay loops resulting in brain damage, then I would recommend this one for sure. Thanks for watching, and I am just going to show you my trophy list before we end the video. Just in case some people think I am making this shit up about getting a platinum on this game, as I realize it is very hard to do, and not everybody will believe me, despite it being a 2 out of 10 difficulty ranking, and also only 11% of players achieving the platinum, so this is proof, okay? Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. That's if this reality we are living in isn't just another time loop.